Okay, guys, we were done with I. Now I will do the remaining seven questions here so that you know its right answer. Okay, this is division and it's by timetable 5. So to help you, 1 times 5 equals 5, and 2 times 5 equals 10, 3 times 5, 15, 4 times 5, 20, 5 times 5, 25, 6 times 5, 30. Okay, and 7 times 5, 35, 8 times 5, 40, and 9 times 5, 45. Okay, can do it for yourself. And here I'm gonna put a times, and here I'm gonna put an equal, and I say what times 5 gives me a 9. Let's look at the answers of the timetable. There's no 9. What's the number just before 9 here? It's the 5. It should be 1 times 5. But I will write here 1 times 5, and I say 1 times 5 gives me what? Like this I multiplied, and I must write my answer. 1 times 5 gives me 5. Here, this is the one I chose. After I multiply and write my answer, second step is to subtract. After 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have a 4. My third step is to make the number go down. Okay, the number will go down, which is the 4. Okay, and then I see what times 5 gives me a 44. Here, I don't have a 44, but I have a smaller number, which is the 40, right? This is the number which is just smaller than it. So it should be 8 times 5. Okay, so it's 8 times 5. So I will write here my 8. Then I know that 8 times 5 will give me a 40. So I'm going to write the 40 here. Like this, I multiplied and wrote my answer. Now it's time to make a minus. After 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, so I have a remaining 4. Why this is a remainder? Because the 4 is smaller than the 5, and he asked you to put the remainder in a circle. Okay, let's do number K. Okay, it's timetable 9. You can write it out. Oh, 1 times 9 equals 9. 2 times 9 equals 18. 3 times 9 equals 27. Let's try. What times 9 gives me a 9? I'm sorry, this is supposed to be a 9, okay? It's a 1. So I'm going to write up 1. And I do 1 times 9. It's going to give me a 9. And then I'm going to make the minus. It's going to be a 0. After I minus, what will happen? Don't forget, there's a number that must go down. ما تقولش أنا كده خلصت. There's a number that must go down, which is the 7. Can I continue, or the 7 is a remainder? Here the 7 is a remainder. Why? Because the 7 is smaller than the 9. يبقى here my remainder is 7. Okay, let's try this one. 1 times 8 gives me 8. 2 times 8 gives me 16, and 3 times 8 gives me 24. So what times 8 gives me a 9? Nothing. طب ايه smaller number? It's the 8. يبقى I will make 1 times 8. 1 up. 1 times 8 is gonna give me an 8. Like this, I multiplied and wrote my answer. My coming step is to make a minus. 9 minus 8, it's a 1. And then after the minus, I will make my number go down. So here I'm gonna make it a 9. Now, what times 8 gives me a 19? From the answers that you see, there's no 19. In number just before it, it's the 16. يبقى هعمل 2 times 8. I'm gonna write up 2 times 8 and write my answer, which is the 16. And then after I multiply and write my answer, I subtract and write my answer after 16, 17, 18, 19. So my answer here is 3. Okay. And I'm gonna put a circle around the 3 because it's the remainder, because it's smaller than 8. Okay, here he's asking me to divide also and write the remainder. I'm gonna make the division sign myself. Don't forget, it's like a step like that. Okay, and here I'm gonna write the 8, and here I'm gonna write the 93. Here is my times, and here is my equal. And what times 8 gives me a 9? Nothing. The number is smaller, it's an 8, because 1 times 8 gives me an 8. Like this, I multiplied and I wrote my answer. Now it's time for the coming step, which is the minus. 9 minus 8, it's gonna give me a 1. And then I will make the number go down. Okay, and now the 3 will go down. Now what times 8 gives me a 13? Nothing. It will also, in number just before the 13 and the answers of timetable 8, it's also the 1. 1 times 8 is gonna give me an 8. And then I subtract. 13 minus 8, after 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So my answer will be 5. Is 5 the remainder? Yes, because 5 is smaller than 8. يبقى الأنسر is 11, and the remainder is what? 5. What's left here is 5. What about number F? Okay. Oh, I made this step, and inside I wrote 55. And outside I wrote a 3. It's timetable 3. Let's 1 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 3, 18. 7 times 3, 21. 8 times 3, 24. Let's try now. And 9 times 3 is 27. What? Here I'm gonna write the times. Definitely, you don't have to write the times and the equal, but I'm trying to make it easier for you. After you get used to it, you can stop writing the times and the equal. What times 3 is gonna give me a 5? There's nothing. A smaller number before the 5 in the answers. It's the 1 times 3. يبقى up. I'm gonna write the 1. 1 times 3. It's gonna give me a what, the 1 times 3. I will write the answer here. It's gonna give me a 3. Like this, I multiplied and wrote my answer. Now it's time for subtraction. Okay, so 5 minus 3, now it's gonna give me a 2. Am I done? No, because now a number must go down, which is the 5. 5 will go down, and I start again. I have now a 25. What times 3 gives me a 25? In the answers here, is there's a 25? No. طب إيه number just before 25? It's the 24. يبقى I will do this one اللي هي ايه 8 times 3. So 8 times 3, and I'm gonna write my answer here is a 24. Like this, I multiplied and wrote my answer. Now it's time to subtract. From 24 till 25, it's a 1. Definitely the 1 is a remainder because it's smaller than the 3. يبقى my answer is 18 اللي هي up here, and the remainder is what? Is 1. Okay, here I made the step and I wrote inside 94 and outside 9, and I wrote sum of timetable 9 out. And here I make it a times, and here I'm gonna write my equal to make it easier for myself. I say, what times 9 gives me a 9? It's very easy. It's already there. It is 1. Okay, and then I start multiplying 1 times 9 equal, and I write my answer here. It is a 9. Like this, I multiplied and wrote my answer. Now it's time to make the minus. 9 minus 9 is a 0. Okay, and now it's time to make the number go down. Is 4 a remainder? Yes, 4 is a remainder. Why? Because 4 is smaller than 9. It's very easy, but the answer here is 1, which is up here, and the remainder is 4. Okay, here. I'll write inside the 31. I will write outside the 2. Mhm. And sorry, it's a 2. I'll see if I'm gonna need anything else. Okay, here. Okay, let's start answering. Here I will write my times, and here I'm gonna write my equal, and I start. What times 2 gives me 3? Nothing gives me 3. النمبر اللي قبلها على طول في الانسرز 2. يبقى I'm gonna talk about a 1 times 2. Okay, so I'm gonna write here 1. and write my answer here, which is a 2. Like this, I multiplied and I wrote my answer. Now it's time to make the minus. 3 minus 2 gives me what? Gives me a 1. And like this, I minused and wrote my answer. Now it's time for the other number to go down, which is also a 1. I start again. What times 2 gives me 11? Look here at the answers. I have here a 10. The 10 is the number just before it. So I'm gonna talk about this one. Okay, so I'm gonna write here a 5. 5 times 2 is gonna give me a 10. So now it's time to make a minus. From 10 to 11, it is a 1. يبقى the answer here is 15 and the remainder is 1. Okay, guys. See you inshallah on Thursday. Bye.